for taking the time to watch these best practice videos. I'm making these videos as part of this zero loss supply chain. And, today, I want to talk about how this photo documentation can make your supply chain so tight, right? I mean, it's a much more, all along, right? We talked about individual best practice that you can apply to each functional area, inbound, outbound, quality audit, fleet maintenance, forklift inspection, rack audits, right? All those different, but now we're going to take a step back and look at the entire supply chain as a whole, right? And your entire supply chain, if you suspect, hey, why am I having way too many damages in this specific lane? I mean, why am I having way too many damages at the time of receipt at this facility, right? Why am I having way too many damages during this especially with this product when it's coming from the manufacturing plant, right? You can set up the system beautifully, and you can understand exactly where the problem is, kind of drilling down deeper, peeling the onion, getting to the next level, and then troubleshooting it at that level. And then, oh, you know what, oh my god, here is where the problem is. Let's put the system in place and then solve it. See, I mean, that's what, right, back in the day when they put this 24/7 camera system, that's what it's supposed to do. It made sure, right, I mean, it made sure no thieves are coming in, no people are coming in to stealing stuff, no suspicious guy is coming. But the merchandise, right, there is no way to track the merchandise. That was like a very, very high level security system to make sure the bad guys just don't come in. But today what's happening is, everything has gotten so sophisticated. Cargo theft, it's become so sophisticated. I mean, back in the day, even during COVID, we were deploying the system for so many of our customers. At the time, the big thing was, there were organized crime, gangs that would chase this COVID vaccines, right? That's crazy. And now the same thing is happening, but they're chasing, instead of COVID vaccines, they're chasing all this expensive data center chips and, computers and servers and stuff like that, right? So it's highly, it's become so sophisticated nowadays. And that's why you got to know, I mean, you got to be able to, you got to have a tool that would help you, identify that specific area, specific facility, specific, inbound or outbound, right? Where exactly your, problem is happening, where you're losing stuff. So let's take a very, very simple example here, right? I mean, I'm going to, do my best to draw this nicely. So let's say this is a central distribution center, right? Here is where you're distributing from. This is a central, distribution center. And then from up to this, a facility, there is product that's coming from, let's say this is your manufacturing plant, right? This is your manufacturing plant, and this is overseas, let's say, somewhere in, manufacturing plant, right? This is your manufacturing plant. And from here, stuff is coming through the ocean carrier, right? It's the boat, and then it's hitting the port. This is let's say this is the port, right? This is the port. And then from here, obviously they got it comes to the ocean carrier, right? And then they're releasing it through the trucks. The trucks are carrying the product to the warehouse, right? To the central distribution center. And then from the central distribution center, let's say there are like three types of, facilities, right? Let's say this is a 3PL DC. This is a 3PL DC, and this is a your RBC, your regional distribution center, and then this is your fulfillment center, right? I mean, these guys fulfill a lot of e-com orders, right? They do e-com orders, and then from here, let's say they are distributing it to a store, right? This is a store, and then even here, let's say this is a store as well. Let's say this is store 1 and this is going to store 2, and then from here, let's say they are making residential deliveries, right? This is home, this is residential delivery, right? This is residential. So, you have this, complicated supply chain here like this. So the product is coming from the plant, it hits the port, and then from there it's trucked, right? Again, there are, trucks that are carrying this, right? Carrying this and then going, same thing, right? I mean, it's all the trucks that are carrying this and going, and then this is a home delivery, same thing. I mean, this is again, trucks, going to store, and then same thing here, going to store, and then same thing here. This is more of a, home delivery, right? So when this is happening, what you can do is, so this is a simple supply chain that you have, right? It's a very, very simple manufacturing plant to the port, and this is all ocean carrier with all these big containers that it's carrying, right? It's carrying those big containers in the ocean. And then from the port, it's getting released from the port, and then it's going to the central distribution center, and then from there it's going to 3PL DC, it's going to the regional distribution center. Then if it's going, so for example, let's say you thought, hey, there is something going on. Why am I getting way too many damages here, right? Why am I getting way too many damages here? You're seeing that. Why the heck is happening? So what you do, you turn on a photo capture process here, right? Photo capture process here, right? And then again turn on a photo capture here, and then see what's going on, right? You can see, hey, all the products are perfectly packed and perfectly shipped from here. And then why am I getting way too many damages here, right? What is happening? Either these guys are not packing properly, or they're doing some mistake in terms of, if it's appliances, you won't believe there are refrigerators, if they're not handled properly, meaning, they use these machines called clamps. If there is too much pressure on the clamp, that could damage the appliance, flat screen TV. And then by the time it comes here, it's all damaged, right? You won't believe. And same thing, right? Even with liquor distribution, if they're not packing those, pallets properly, if there is no airbags and things like that, you're going to see phenomenal damage here in this place, right? So those are the that's how you can troubleshoot your entire supply chain. You see, hey, why is this guy? Why do I have way too many damages here? Can I hold this 3PL accountable? Can I, hey, no, I'm going to go and challenge those guys. Hey, why the heck you have got so many damages, man? Show me what you're doing, right? Ask them to do photo documentation at the time of receipt, as well as ask them to do photo documentation at the time of shipping, right? So have you heard of this concept called Plumbers die? That's what you can deploy here. So a plumber's die is a die that you can put in your plumbing network, and then it goes where the leak is, and then you can see the color where the leak is happening, right? And and there you can once you know where the leak is, and you can fix it, right? Apply that whatever adhesive or something, right? You can, but so same way you can wherever you have, see, for example, for some reason, let's say you have way too many inbound quality issues, right? Then you can give, hey guys, why are we getting so many inbound quality audit, inbound issues when I'm doing issues at the time of inbound quality audit? Why am I having that? You can ask those guys and pass on the feedback. Hey, maybe their packing is not enough. Maybe the ocean carrier is not handling the product as they promised they would, right? So like this, you can troubleshoot your entire supply chain with the photo documentation system. And the moment you start asking them to document, then everybody is obviously, right? They are like, hey, you know what? I know the quality of the work that I do. My boss can look at it. My boss can look at it anytime, right? I'm touching products, and if I have to document, then you know what? I'm paying double it, and I'm paying extra cost, and I'm paying double the amount of attention. I am doing everything very, very carefully, and your supply chain becomes better. That's the power of photo documentation, right? Especially if you have a very complicated supply chain, there are way too many moving parts, and there are too many functions that are going wrong. You can apply this similarly how you would apply a plumber's die, right? And then you can troubleshoot this, and then you can fix it. It's a very, very powerful tool, and we have solved so many issues, and we have helped people see. And sometimes 3PL is doing a phenomenal job because they are good at that. Especially the reputed ones, the national 3PLs, they didn't get there by themselves. They've done that with they've gotten there by following all these best practices, building that culture within their company where they take everything so seriously and do such a perfect job, right? And you will be surprised to see, oh my God, these guys are doing such a nice job. They're such a reliable partner. I can offload more, business to them, right? More, where I'm struggling in terms of running my supply chain, right? So the photo documentation is a very, very powerful tool that you want to take advantage of, especially if you have, a very fragile supply chain. Fragile in the sense, fragile in the sense you handle a lot of fragile products. Not your supply chain is pretty rock solid, but the products that you handle are fragile. So you got to put a lot of extra attention, extra care, extra packing, and maybe you'll learn, hey guys, maybe the design of the packing is wrong here. We got to do extra airbags. We got to do extra, load straps. We got to do extra load bars. We got to do extra photo documentation, video documentation. There's, organized stuff that's going on, cargo stuff that's going on, expensive products. Imagine $800, whiskey or a, scotch, right? Scotch whiskey or wine, that all requires a lot of care and a lot of protection in terms of packing and handling and all that, right? So this is a fantastic system to troubleshoot your supply chain, with by similar to a concept called Plumbers die, and then solve the problem. So and of course, we are here to help you guys, and let us know anything we can do for you, and thank you for the time, and would love to hear your feedback.